Liverpool's long-term defensive plans have been rocked by a sudden and deeply concerning development, with fresh news emerging that casts serious doubt over one defender. What was meant to be a period of anticipation and preparation ahead of the summer has instead turned into uncertainty, leaving supporters anxiously awaiting clarity. With the season's conclusion creeping closer and Arne Slot slowly beginning shaping his squad for the next campaign, this unexpected twist could have wider implications than first feared. The timing could hardly be worse, and the fallout may stretch beyond just one player. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Liverpool's long-term defensive planning has been dealt an early setback, with incoming centre-back Jeremy Jacquet now set to undergo surgery that will almost certainly bring his campaign to a premature end. The 20-year-old, who will officially arrive at Anfield in the summer following a £60 million agreement, struck at the close of the winter window, dislocated his shoulder during Rennes's 3-1 defeat to Lens on February 7th. At the time, both player and club opted to delay an immediate decision on surgery, exploring whether an intensive rehabilitation program could resolve the issue. However, after nearly a month of gym-based recovery work and conservative treatment, it has been determined that an operation is unavoidable. According to reports in France, Liverpool left the final call in the hands of Rennes and Jacquet himself, with the defender said to have been determined to avoid going under the knife. Unfortunately, the shoulder failed to respond as hoped, making surgery inevitable. With Rennes' season concluding on May 16th, Jacquet's chances of featuring again this term are described as extremely slim. It marks a bitter end to what had been a breakthrough year for the academy graduate, who joined the French club at 14 in 2019 and progressed through the ranks to become a regular first-team starter. After a successful loan spell with Clermont in Ligue 2, he returned to cement his place and had hoped to help push his boyhood side toward European qualification. Instead, his focus now shifts entirely to recovery and to preparing for life on Merseyside. What the recovery timeline looks like. For a professional athlete, the standard return to play window following surgery for a shoulder dislocation typically ranges between 4 and 6 months. The process is structured and gradual. Week 0 to 6, immobilization. The arm is placed in a sling to allow repaired ligaments to properly reattach and heal. Stability is prioritized above all else. Week 6 to 12, restoring range of motion. The sling is removed and physiotherapy begins. Flexibility work is introduced carefully, though contact and heavy lifting remain prohibited. Months 3 to 4, strength and conditioning. Attention turns to rebuilding the rotator cuff and shoulder stability. Non-contact training on grass can resume, allowing cardiovascular conditioning to be maintained. Months 5 to 6. Contact and match fitness. Full contact sessions and controlled impact drills are gradually reintroduced. Clearance for competitive action comes once match sharpness and strength benchmarks are met. The encouraging aspect for Liverpool is that, should recovery proceed smoothly, Xhaka could be available for the start of pre-season at the AXA Training Centre in July. That said, a 4 to 6 month window means there remains a possibility that his rehabilitation stretches into the opening weeks of the 2026/27 campaign. How it impacts Liverpool's defensive picture manager Arne Slot will undoubtedly take a cautious approach, particularly given that Connor Bradley and Giovanni Leone are also being carefully managed fitness-wise. Liverpool's defensive depth will be monitored closely over the coming months. Jacquet is expected to initially arrive as a rotational option rather than an automatic starter. The club remain hopeful of tying Ibrahima Konate down to a new long-term deal, which would see him continue alongside Virgil van Dijk at the heart of defence. if that partnership remains intact. Slot will at least have the flexibility to rotate more confidently once Xhaka regains full fitness. The situation also adds another layer of intrigue surrounding Joe Gomez. With just a year remaining on his contract come July 1st and previous interest from AC Milan still lingering in the background, his future is far from certain. Liverpool had explored defensive reshuffling earlier in the season during negotiations for Mark Guehi, and further movement cannot be ruled out. For Xhaka though, the immediate priority is clear: recovery, resilience and readiness. His Liverpool chapter has not yet begun, but it has already taken an unexpected twist, one that will test both his patience and professionalism before he even pulls on the red shirt competitively. In other news, Florian Wirtz is not expected to play either game against Wolves this week, with the German's back injury likely to keep him out until Liverpool visit Galatasaray. Wirtz has already missed 2 games and is likely to sit out of 2 more, with the playmaker suffering a back injury in the warm-up for Nottingham Forest. Speaking after Saturday's 5-2 win over West Ham, Slot ruled his number 7 out of Tuesday's trip to Wolves but gave hope for a return in time for the FA Cup fixture at the same stadium on Friday night. But in his pre-match press conference on Monday morning, the head coach indicated Wirtz would not be available until the Champions League trip to Galatasaray on March 10th at the earliest. Not anything different to say than what I said after the game, he explained. The game tomorrow will probably come too soon, and maybe the game at the weekend as well. But let's see how it ends up. We hope to have him back sometime next week, maybe a bit earlier, maybe a bit later, but that time scale. Wirtz has been largely fit up until now, with only 6 outfielders clocking more minutes on the pitch for Liverpool, and that has allowed him to find more consistency in his form. His absence is undoubtedly a blow, but the manner in which the Reds responded without him against West Ham, with Dominik Szoboszlai in the advanced midfield role, is encouraging. Szoboszlai is likely to keep his place as the number 10 against Wolves on Tuesday night, though with Wirtz also expected to miss the FA Cup 5th round tie, it could see Slot get more creative. Liverpool are still short of options with Wataru Endo, James McConnell and Stefan Bajcetic sidelined, but Trey Nyoni and Rio Ngumoha could come in for more game time in the coming week. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.